Nah.
Oh,
No, no.
yeah, where'd you go?
Yes. All right. Hello, I'm Farrell D. Moore for your host for Right. And this time is my extreme good fortune to interview author Jude Matulich-Hall. Hello, Jude. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing, Rick?
Fine, thanks. What inkling did you first have that you could be a successful writer?
Well, I wasn't thinking about being a successful writer when I started. I just wanted to write. And so whether or not the success came, I had faith that in my story. And I just figured I'd go with it and keep going until it got picked up and got out there and did its thing. So I guess like not setting out to be successful, but just knowing in my heart that a good story is going to bring its own success.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Could you give us a brief synopsis of your book, The Everstream Chronicles, before
Yes.
we do it?
Yeah, the Eversteam Chronicles, Small Demons, is book one of the Eversteam Chronicles, and it's about Penelope Vetiver O'Connell, who is a private detective, and she lives in a steampunk type world. And strange things start to happen in the story. Demons start coming to the surface. And so she meets up with a ragtag team of other folks and takes a journey into hell to find out what's going on.
Well, that sounds interesting. Where did you first find the idea for the characters of your book? Without giving away any specific names, but did you fashion your characters after people you knew, or did you just kind of create them out of whole cloth?
I with Penelope, the lead character, I'm a huge Agatha Christie mystery fan. You know, I've seen and read everything that she did, and so I wanted to come up with a really cool detective character and write just a plain old detective novel.
Right.
Um, and so it didn't start out as a fantasy world. It was just going to be a mystery. Mysteries are really hard to write.
Oh
so
boy, I
and
know
and
that.
yeah, and fantasy gives more room. And in a way, for me anyway, it's more fun to come up with the fantastic magical stuff. And the other characters just kind of came along. One of the characters is a Buddhist monk,
Yeah.
and I've met many a Tibetan Buddhist monk, and I adore the practice and just
Culture.
amaze the culture and amazing connections. And so one of the characters is based on that. And of course, I had to have a demon in there that befriended the humans to help them out, and then a sergeant, which he's kind of the straight, the what do you call that when it comes to comedy, you have kind of the quirky
Straight.
characters, and he's kind of the straight man, just
Yeah.
kind of he's really great and he's good at his job and stuff, but he's a little fumbly
Yes.
and very serious. So,
Yes. Now, by the way, I've got to ask you a question about the most controversial part of your novel. That is the journey into hell. What gave you the idea of the journey into hell?
well, the idea originally started. I had a dream. That's
Oh,
honestly, that is where the idea came from. I
oh my
had this
goodness.
weird dream. It was a very, almost a lucid dream. You know, I felt like I was right there in it, and I woke up and I was like, "Oh my God, what a weird idea!" And the idea was, and yes, I acknowledge that this is gonna probably sound sacrilegious, but I'm a huge environmentalist.
Right,
And so, of course, global warming and saving the animals and is on my mind often. And
right.
so that seeped into my dream of, where, but in my dream, we didn't know where global warming was coming from. And my dream was that the folks in heaven were pinning global warming on Satan.
Right, right.
But it turned out that it wasn't Satan causing it. And of course, hell is hot. And so it
Yep.
was just like, okay, so if you looked at global warming in a very non-scientific way, you could easily say, well, demons are causing global warming, right? They're,
Right.
and so in the story, it came that, oh, the demons coming up to the surface was what was causing global warming. And I don't want to give too much away.
I understand.
So then I've studied Dante's Inferno. The
Oh, good.
Yeah, in college I studied Dante's Inferno, and I always wanted to rewrite Dante's Inferno for to be more what's the word I want? More accessible to younger readers, or
Oh,
readers that
really?
don't necessarily want to trudge through the language of
Oh, that's interesting.
the more ancient language
Right.
Dante Alighieri.
Yes.
Um, so that was something that was in the back of my mind for a long time, and then I forgot about it for a long time. And when this came up with the dream having to do with hell and starting to come up with the characters, I was like, well, here it is. I can show kind of a Dante's Inferno type story, and this is my chance to not rewrite it, but present it in a different way for more people to understand. I guess.
I guess actually that makes sense. But some people might find the idea of your journey into hell sacrilegious. And what do you say to those people?
My first, the first word that comes to my mind is fiction with a capital F.
Yep.
I think sometimes when we get way too serious about things like religion and things like that. I'm really about people just being who they are and honoring them where they are. And if they don't like it, they don't have to read it.
Well,
you
that's a
know,
good point.
yeah. If
They don't like it. They really don't have to read it.
Yeah, and I think people need to take responsibility for their own opinions. And if you don't like something, if something offends you, but it's not hurting anybody, turn around and walk away. you
At the
know.
very least, they have to read it to form an opinion.
hmm Yeah. Yeah.
And see, if they turn away before they read it, I think they'll be missing out.
I like to think so because it's meant to be fun. Life's a stage, and we need to laugh about. We need to be able to laugh about those things that we take so incredibly seriously. Like,
Yep.
these are my thoughts. This is my opinion. My opinion is truth.
Yep.
It's meant to be a satire.
Yes.
And it's meant to just bring a little bit of joy, a little bit of funniness into those things that we take so
That's what I came
seriously.
away with from reading your novel, that it was a satire.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
everything's got to be evaluated in that format, right?
hmm
Now, did you find the way that you wrapped up your novel satisfactory, or did you leave it open for a sequel? And if so, what would be the premise of your second volume?
Well, I think I did end it open so that I could write more. The original mystery does get solved. So a little bit of both, yeah, I closed up the current mystery, so that's satisfactory, but I definitely left it open, wide open for a whole lot more. And so the second novel is actually a prequel to what led up further in the past
Oh, a
to
prequel.
the event that takes place in Small Demons.
So as
Uh,
opposed to a sequel, you're writing a prequel.
yes, yeah. So,
Interesting.
and it gives more a look into the universe and how the materials work. In Small Demons, you're introduced to sparks, which are almost like a sentient rock, uh,
Right.
material that they use as an energy source. But
Yes.
there's little ones and then there's big ones. And
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away about that, but you get a bigger, a better idea of how they work in this universe and how important they are. They're very important in Small Demons. And the universe can't exist without them. And
Right.
so you just get a better idea of how they work and how important they are. And you, I guess what I did was I followed some different characters in the second book.
Right.
It's the working title is The Pirates of Eversteam. I might keep that title, I might not. That might change.
Yes.
But so it's a small group of people that you meet in Small Demons. They help the main characters in Small Demons. And so the next book is about these pirates that helped the folks in Small Demons. But it takes place around the same time Small Demons does, and 300 years in the
In the past.
past.
I
So,
guess part of the challenge is making it all fit together for you.
oh goodness, yes, yeah,
Yeah.
it's really easy to make mistakes
Yep.
um, when you're coming up with lore and rules and laws of your universe. Um, I have more than once messed up something and was just like, oh gosh, I can't do that because this happened in Small Demons. I can't make this happen in this
Yep.
book.
Yep.
So it's really just about keeping it clear in the mind, taking lots of notes, lots of research into my own work,
Yes.
and just hoping that if I miss something, you'll catch it.
Now, how do you see your writing career progressing? Because that's an important thing to sort out. You've started late in life,
Mhm.
but you're really progressing very nicely. How do you see it progressing?
Um, it definitely. I'd like to write a book once a year. That's my plan. It took me 4 years to write Small Demons.
Yes.
um, this next book is, of course, going a little quicker. I would not. I'd honestly like to do this for a living as my day job, not
Good.
have
Good.
it as the hobby.
Yes.
And just continuing with after I have plans for after the Pirates novel to continue with Penelope's journey. I the stories are already written in the back of my mind for
Yes.
books 3 and 4, and a short story anthology. I have a lot of short stories that I've off and on written throughout the
Right.
last year, and
And
some
turning
other
those into
ideas.
novels.
Oh no, just an anthology of short stories following little side characters, and going back in Small Demons, Penelope's grandfather. I talk a lot about Penelope's grandfather, and he has a whole history of amazing stuff he did with a little bit
Well,
of time travel and
let's hope you
oh,
write novels of them, right?
yeah. Yeah, I just that's what I would like to see my writing career going, is that it actually becoming my main career.
All right. Well, thank you for your time today, Jude. I really appreciate it, and the folks at home appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Until the next time, keep writing.
All right.